Hey everybody, Elizabeth Nader back with you, Jersey First TV and the Nader Narrative. We love to support people in New Jersey who are doing amazing things to help others, innovative ideas which change the lives of many. And today we are happy and excited to bring you someone who fits that bill. Dr. Stephen Bier, welcome to the program Popcorn for People. We're so glad to have you here.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Well, it's an exciting thing to talk about. It's something we're proud about in New Jersey, that you've been able to put this organization together to help so many. And as I often say, the best ideas come out of your own need. The best ideas often come out of the areas in your life where you're challenged or where you feel like you need a solution. And this is exactly what happened. So Dr. Bier, tell us about why you started Popcorn for the People.
My son, Samuel, is a high-functioning autistic young man. And when he went out looking for work, it was difficult to find meaningful work that you really want to go do. And the best he was able to find was pushing shopping carts in a parking lot of a supermarket. And he was doing it for a while. And then one day during the summer, he forgot to put on his sunscreen, and he came home and he was red as a lobster. My wife said, "Look, that's enough." She said to me, "Stephen, you're not worth much to me, but I know you can get a business put together for Sam, because this is not working." Yeah. And so we went to put a business together and opened up, got a businesses for sale in the area book. And life's funny sometimes. The very first thing on top of everything was a little popcorn store for sale in the Freehold Mall.
Wow.
And that's how it all began.
A little listing for a popcorn business. Now it seems obvious, right? It's such a fit. But what was it about popcorn and making popcorn that allows it to be such an interesting fit for this community?
Well, first off, it's not seasonal. People eat popcorn all year round. It cuts through all social, economic strata. Everybody eats popcorn. It's not dangerous to make. There's no knives involved. And anyone coming in and seeing popcorn being made, you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Not like sausages being made.
No. Well, that's always the joke, right? You don't want to see the sausage factory, but we definitely want to see the popcorn factory. So you find this little business for sale, and when you told Sam about it, what was his reaction?
He was very happy, very excited. He didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah. Right. And when you started to put it together, obviously you're a well-educated man, you've been successful in other areas of your life. So you're figuring out how to put this business together. How much did Sam get involved in the beginning of this? How much did he learn and actually get to have sort of a seat next to you watching this emerge as a full functioning business?
Well, I think your next interview will be a lot more interesting, is to interview Sam.
Yeah. I'd love to do that.
Sure. And I don't know if you've ever seen him on TV. He comes across really well.
Yes, he does.
So, Sam, I think his role at the beginning was more of learning how to have, for lack of a better word, a real typical work day, how to handle the hours, how to handle, when to eat and so forth. So it was a learning experience. The things that he stumbled with and learned, we all then were able to use in a good way when other young men and women came along to work. Now we were alerted to it. So poor Sam got to be their guinea pig, but he did it with a smile.
Yeah, and he is impressive. I watched him on the national interview, and absolutely an impressive kid. Where is he on the spectrum in terms of his ability to function, would you say?
Oh, he's high functioning. Very high functioning, terrific memory. If he's interested in something, he'll remember every detail.
So as you fill these jobs, are you able to create or offer jobs to children and young adults? I shouldn't say children, it's really young adults and beyond, who have different levels of functioning. Is there flexibility in the company in terms of the production process?
Yes. So first, as far as using the word children, that's fine. We use the word kids all the time. And I tell people, I'm using the word kids. Some of our kids are 50 years old.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. So and I'll say it now before we stumble onto something later on. There's becomes very controversial which words to use. We will say something on our website about our autistic workers, and we'll get 300 letters saying they're not autistic workers or workers with autism. So next week we'll change it to workers with autism. And we'll get 300 letters saying, no, it's autistic workers. Um, just sort of a learning point for everyone. A good safe thing is neurodiverse. Uh,
Okay.
People like that typical workers, atypical workers. But at Popcorn for the People, we came up with a methodology. So what we're going to do, it's very controversial, and some people get really upset about it. So we let the kids decide. We let the workers decide what phrases they want to use, and it can change over time with different groups. And that way, hey, no one can come complaining because it's coming right from the source.
I love that. I love that. So whatever they're comfortable with in terms of calling themselves, they do that. That's so smart. You can't please everybody, Dr. Bier. It's certainly never going to be perfect, right? And I have noticed that with my friends in the autistic world, and I don't even know what words I'm supposed to use now, but I do know that a lot is changing, and I do know that people like you and what you've put together are really changing the way society looks at
Listen,
people who are right who
yeah,
have autism.
look, we're a democracy, and as a democracy, almost by definition, you self-criticize to make things better, right? No
Yeah,
one ever says, "Oh, everything's great." Everyone always complains about something.
right.
That's democracy. But I will say, since Sam was born in the '90s, I think society can give itself a pat on the back. Everyone is much more educated, much more aware, and much more sympathetic. And
Yes.
I don't have scientific data, but I have a lot of years and experience. And I think that a person today in America in 2023 is much more sympathetic than it was
Yes.
back in the
Well,
90s.
I think, what you've been able to do and the education that we have to understand it, and sadly the rates have gone up so much that I think most people are
Now
affected
it's
by it in some
teaching.
way. Right?
It, it's pretty much touching everyone. Now that
Yeah.
every person we meet, we get this topic. Eventually, at some point, they say, "My nephew, my son,
Yes.
my cousin." Everyone has
Right.
someone on. And by the way, one of my favorite descriptive terms is to say people on the spectrum.
Okay.
People with the
People on
autism
the
spectrum. People on the
Okay.
spectrum.
So let's talk about your employees on the spectrum as you've given them these
Oh,
opportunities. And I understand
I never answered your question. I'm really good at these interviews. I
that's
never
okay.
answered your
That
question.
there's so many questions, but I'm curious how they've changed. If you see, they're all different, right? And some are more functioning than others. And I'm assuming as their leader, you put them in the right role. How have you seen people evolve and
Okay.
change?
So I'll give you twofold. I'll answer your original question. So
Good.
we have everyone our workers span almost the entire spectrum from one extreme to another. So for the low functioning workers, we we decide to we worked hard to come up with ideas how to create jobs for them. That's the whole point here, is to create jobs.
Okay.
And we came up with a very simple solution. If you see our bags of popcorn and you run your finger around it, you'll see at certain points you'll like feel a sticker and you realize, oh, that flavor is not printed on. It's actually a sticker. Or there's a story on the back that's not printed on. So, well, why wouldn't they spend the money? They printed everything else. Why leave a spot blank? So we do that on purpose. We leave it blank. So we have workers who sit all day putting labels on. Okay, and that will be, and most of them have never worked anywhere before. They're never able to find a job. And yes, we're going to lose a penny or two on every bag because we have to put these stickers on, but that creates a lot of jobs.
And that fits the bill for certain kids that need to interact that way with the product. For them, that's a fit. And you learned that by watching how they worked or what they needed to do. So you made a purposeful decision in the production process to actually put stickers on by hand. That's fascinating.
Yes, we brought in low functioning workers, tried many things that almost all failed
Mm.
until we finally came up with this idea.
So this is one of the lessons you obviously learned, which is great. Have you also seen, which was the second part of that question, have you seen a change in your workers where maybe some areas in their verbal ability, their ability to concentrate, have you seen them improve?
Yes. We've seen, we don't have exact numbers, but there's certainly a bunch of workers that it's like a miracle. Major changes. We had, you see Patrick, and if you go to popcornforthepeople.com and you go see some of the videos, or go to Popcorn for the People on the NBC Today show, you'll see Patrick. He was there. I didn't think he was going to last a week. After one day, this
Mm.
isn't going to work. And few people felt, let's just hang in there with him. He now pretty much functions independently, and he cooks popcorn. He's in the back, with the big vats making the popcorn. It's a complex task. We've had another worker, Mia, who's very low functioning, and she was one of the ones we were at the beginning were trying to come up with a job and ended up being one of the labelers. And now she's begun doing some of the cooking functions.
Wow.
So just about, and those are extreme examples, but just about everyone has shown, some improvement. Following orders, being patient. Who decides which music's going to be on? How loud is the music going to be?
Yeah.
And that gives an awareness, being thinking about other people, being sympathetic to other people's needs.
Right.
So it's a long list of changes, but I think at the end of the day, if you give people a real job, and that's one of our things we say, we want meaningful jobs. If you give people meaningful jobs, chances are strong you'll get something positive out of it, and possibly every now and then something amazing out of it.
I love that. I love the miracle moments, right? That's incredible. What do the parents say to you of these children?
Yeah. We get wonderful, tremendous feedback. He or she never worked before. When you're closed, they almost don't want holidays. When you're closed, you're sitting at home doing videos.
Yeah.
It's been very positive, and it's hard on the parents. It's really hard. Something simple like their child going somewhere. The vast majority of the people on the spectrum don't drive.
Mm.
So you have to get them there. You have to pick them up. And then you have the moments where things, and I always say, this is not an HBO movie with this big happy ending. And
I
so
understand.
it's a day-to-day struggle.
Yeah.
So they have a lot on their shoulders. So yes, they're very grateful that young men and women are getting out of the house and working.
It's such an incredible example that I hope others will follow. And obviously, you need to sell popcorn, right? So you're not just having people make popcorn, you need to sell the popcorn, you need to be able to be successful in that regard. So what have been the outlets for you to do that? And I know COVID changed that a little bit. Talk to us about where you were originally selling the popcorn, where you can get it now.
So certainly you can go online to popcornforthepeople.com, which used to be, I'd say maybe less than 5% of the sales, and that's 25% of the sales now. There's even merchandise. So certainly online, and then we're at events, and events is really where we broke through. And the first big one was this wonderful man, Mark Tango at Rutgers University. He ran the food services, and he said he heard about us. He was going to come down to the store, and we had a big presentation for him. He walks in before we even had the presentation, and he said, hey, let me taste that. Reaches, grabs this. Let me taste that. Yeah. He goes, okay, you're ready. You'll do Rutgers football. And we have this whole PowerPoint ready to go. We go, oh, man, we can do a Rutgers football game? He goes, no, you don't understand. You're going to do all the football games, and you'll do the men's basketball, and you'll do the women's basketball. I'll see you next Monday. We'll work out the details. And he was gone. And that was the big breakthrough. Yeah. So now we're at Rutgers. Now we're at the Javits Center. Now we're at Top of the Rock. A lot of many different expos and fairs, even farmers markets, which COVID brought farmers markets back.
Yeah.
And on the travel plazas up and down the Jersey Turnpike.
So in some cases you're staffing this, right? In some cases you're staffing the sales on site?
At some places it's just on the shelves, which is also a big deal to be on the shelves. And when we're staffing and we have sampling, that works out really well. First, it's another job being created.
That's right.
And people really interact. And look, we just want to get a piece of popcorn in their hand because we know, and I take no credit for this. There's no ego here. I didn't do it. The popcorn is insanely good. It's world class. We had a mom who, she had medical research experience, Agnes. Agnes had medical research experience, and she also had culinary experience. It was a really unique mixture.
Sure.
Her daughter is severely disabled. She would drive up every day from Toms River, so like an hour each way, refused to take a paycheck for I don't know how many years, maybe 3 years. And she came up with all these crazy flavors.
I love it.
Really put us on the map. I don't know if you've seen it yet. So like she made a cookies and cream popcorn. So the kids they make popcorn, have a used popcorn, and they melt white chocolate, pour the white chocolate over the popcorn, and then they take Ziploc bags filled with Oreos and smash it with a hammer and sprinkle the Oreos all over it and break it up, and you have a cookies and cream popcorn. She came up with this dark chocolate espresso where she
Oh,
melts Belgian dark chocolate over the popcorn and infuses Bustelo espresso into it.
oh my
So,
gosh.
this is no ego. I didn't do it.
I,
We call some of these flavors, we call them the oh my God popcorn, because people take a sample and go, oh my God.
Yeah, I think I
I'm
just said, "Oh my God, I'm needing to buy some now." I mean, this isn't just your regular popcorn, but I was imagining too that process, like the cookies and cream of melting the chocolate, hammering the Oreos. Again, this is a different way for the kids to interact with how they're producing the popcorn, and it probably in some cases fulfills a need for them to be active in some way or tactile. It's very interesting, isn't it?
Yes, yes, and yes to everything
Yeah,
you just said. If you think about it, and look, it's a difficult struggle because Frito-Lay's has a 5 million gallon machinery that's automatic and cranking out 1 million bags a minute, and we're doing everything by hand. And
wow,
it's maybe a tiny drop of automation. Even the little bit of automation we have needs to be run by somebody.
sure,
So it's basically, people use the words organic, natural, so forth. Ours is by hand from start to finish, and
true,
that's difficult. That's
yeah.
difficult to run a business that way.
Yeah, it is difficult, but it serves a purpose and there's a reason why you're
Yeah.
doing that. And I think that's what's fascinating about it. I really just have to tell you, you guys are a gem of New Jersey. And the more people know about you, I know that you reinvest your profits, of course, in the company, but also you donate them. Talk about that.
Oh yeah, no. Every penny goes back into the company,
Hmm.
and always, people. We were above the minimum wage for years. New Jersey, either I don't know if they exactly caught up or they're catching up to us. People,
Catching
that's
up. Yeah.
a big sore point in the autism community, fear of their workers being underpaid.
Yeah.
So we started above minimum wage. We will always be at least at minimum wage when we start. And yes, all the money goes back in. So people can get raises, people can get bonuses. Some people get promoted to different jobs.
Yeah.
This year, for the first time, we're putting together, it's not done yet, but we're hopeful, health insurance.
Wow.
Which,
Amazing.
so,
Wow. I mean, it's so impressive. I just thank you on behalf of the people of New Jersey and Jersey First. We love to see organizations like yours. We need people to buy popcorn, eat a lot of popcorn.
a lot
So
of
they can go
popcorn.
to
Yeah.
popcornforthepeople.com.
They ship it in these boxes.
Beautiful.
Very cool.
Your branding is so well done. It really is.
The branding was years of
Yeah.
work,
Yeah.
years of work.
Well, it's top shelf branding. It's obviously beautiful, and everything that you've done, is a blessing to so many. So I want to thank you for that. And again, people can go to popcornforthepeople.com to purchase online, but also, as you said, you are in stores at different locations. So are you on the Turnpike or the Parkway? You're at some
Oh,
of
the
those places.
Turnpike. We're at the Turnpike at Molly Pitcher, and
Oh, that's
I'm
great.
blocking some of Walt Whitman. Yeah, we're at the Turnpike, and the Turnpike brings in a lot of publicity.
Sure,
'Cause
of course.
everybody has to stop at the Turnpike, whether
Yeah.
they're working in the mailroom or they're the CEO of the company. They're all coming through, and we get a lot of people joining on through the Turnpike.
Well, it's no small thing that I know New Jersey has had the highest autism rates in the nation for a while. And you have, in that environment, created one of the most unique and successful solutions to give the kids that are struggling with this a solution, a way to work, an outlet, giving the parents something that is life changing. And you know that firsthand. But I just have to tell you, it's incredible. And we've only heard amazing things about the company. So I want to thank you, Dr. Bier, for your time. Next time we need to have Sam on, definitely. And
Yeah, you should introduce Sam.
maybe Sam can give us some business coaching, right, to young kids who are starting businesses. Sam, I think, has a lot of potential that we will
Sam,
see over the years, right?
you know, you do an interview with Sam, he tends to bogart the interview. So
I would love
you,
that. We will do that next time. I think we need to do some young business leaders, and Sam is certainly one of those. But thank you, Dr. Bier, for everything. I really hope that everything continues to grow for you and that you are blessed for all you're doing to change lives.
Thank you. And from everyone at Popcorn for the People, thank everyone out there for their support.
All right. And to my audience, guys, go get your popcorn. I know you're salivating right now. Popcornforthepeople.com, and we'll see everybody next week. Thanks.